Hello, good evening, Warband. Welcome back to Tech Talk Tuesday. And yeah, welcome, Gonable Kraken, Mortician Stone, D-Man 50, Sir Yeetus Frost, and Dr. Dree. Dr. Dree, waiting on the Robussy? Well, you may not have to wait long, as we are going to be having discussions somewhat along those lines. Wouldn't say it's exactly along those lines, but we're getting there. And Connell just got through yellow fever surgery. Gray goes and drops a thumbnail. Ah, yes, yes, that thumbnail. It's yeah, we're doing a bit of experimenting here. We're about to keep the generation off, and hopefully my computer can handle both the streaming and the AI generation. So I will we'll see how well this holds up. And let's see. We don't have our usual co-host here right yet, but I'm sure he'll be by in a little bit. But as for this, Sandman actually covered somewhat of this topic. So we're going to give a listen to what he's got to say on this, and we'll talk a bit about some of the ramifications of it. Well, let's begin.
Hi everyone, Sandman here. This video isn't brought to you by any donations, yet again. Looks like I'm getting closer and closer to getting ready to hang up my digital hat, so to speak. At least on this channel. I'll discuss more about that at the end of this video. But first I want to discuss artificial intelligence rendered adult content. There's a website which I can't share a link to because I'll probably get a strike on YouTube for it. But I'm going to flash the letters on screen so you guys know where you can create all kinds of images that are definitely not safe for work. The stock photos I use in this video are of real women, but before I picked them out, I went to the site that's on screen and then the stock page. I knew that the fake women weren't real, but I
Well, gentlemen, I mean, it's kind of predictable with this channel, but how many of you thought that the thumbnail was a real woman? Be honest. How many of you thought that was a real woman? Because no, that's AI. It's decently convincing, at least 6 out of 10 on the convincing scale. But let's see where else he's going with this here.
started mixing up the real and fake in my head, and I started to see the fake women as starting to be real. The website showed me hundreds of images, and they passed the arousal boner test. My chubby custard launcher didn't care that they were fake. It still gave them a salute. Someone mentioned that in one of my recent memes of the week videos that AI has generated more than just scantily clad ladies in bikinis, but it's doing way more, so I had to look into it. I've now reached the conclusion that if I don't care if women are real or not sexually, then I know the young guys won't care at all. Imagine what that's going to mean when they're completely nude virtual girls in 5 to 10 years or less.
Like, okay, chat. I'll be honest here. So you see this. This right here is a real woman. Like, about as real as women actually get in this day and age. Now, I'm going to show up an alternative that I spat out just now with AI running in the background. And which do you prefer? Source. Da, da, da. Oh, and there. Let's see. Dang it, yeah, ended up tossing it in the folder. There we go. So, no, not real. No, not real. Better than the real one? All right. All right. Well, we'll keep this going, and I'm going to keep generating stuff in the background while we hear some of these further developments from Sandman.
Having conversations with you and rendered in real time. Real women are screwed. You can also tell the virtual woman what you want her to do and she'll do it. Again, it's almost over for real women. The male sexual revolution is upon us, and they'll cry and complain while wailing and gnashing their teeth that no man wants to fondle their teat. They can protest and complain all they want, but they won't be able to stop it. Men will fap off until the world falls apart and stay away from relationships.
Well, that's an interesting question there because it's not as though this kind of stuff is not available for free. And it's not as though there is not a culture of doing this with not real women. So I guess I wonder where exactly is the line here? Does it need to be real time generated? I mean, we do have some AI generated video. Imagine it's probably not that far off that there is at least some passable sort of stock interaction video. But what exactly is the barrier? I guess that's what I'm curious about. What for guys exactly is the barrier that keeps them from going, you know what? I don't want to bother with the real ones. They don't need to be real. Hmm. Well, let's keep going here.
MGTOW will be the new default setting for men in society. Birth rates will continue to plummet even more, and family formation will collapse. All that before we even see those virtual girlfriends downloaded into loverbots. As men, we're almost in the promised land, and for women, the attention, resources, and emotional tampon services are all about to dry up and blow away.
And funnily enough, iron your shirt, never complain. Well, I mean, ironing one shirt, like we have dry cleaners for that. Many of these extra wifely duty services, I'd say that almost all of them can be offloaded for, at the very least, cheap or reasonable levels of expense. So, how much of this is necessarily needing a live-in maid? Because you can get those. You can get live-in maids. And guys, like let's actually be honest here. We know how much housekeepers can make. Guys, be real. If it paid decent enough money, would you honestly object to housekeeping? Like, if it paid well enough, really? I mean, not necessarily just for one dude. Like, come on, we're guys. It does not take us long to do basic cleanup or laundry. Like, if we were worried about, oh no, we don't want a female to be the one to do all this because then they'll complain about XYZ, I can see a market for male housekeepers. So that's an option. But primarily the thing is, well, okay, well, what about the sexy time? Yeah, we can do all that ourselves. Well, that's the thing, Dr. G. We can, but it costs time. One of the main arguments is like the time that one would save doing it. Because let's be honest, if you're consistently working 10 to 12-hour days, it's nice to be able to come home and to not have to cook, to not have to worry about all the laundry, to not have to do another, what, let's say 2 hours worth of household maintenance and cleanup. Because if you work like a 10-hour day and you want 8 hours of sleep, that doesn't really give you that much downtime, especially if you want to have a hobby of some kind. Yeah, for us, such a minute, so I only have two bowls, so doing the dishes is easy. Well, exactly. Like a guy living a fairly minimalist life, like you can probably like, keep up with your dishes on a fairly daily basis. I wouldn't even think dishes would be the main issue. I'd say laundry, like ironing shirts. Like if you need to keep your clothes in good condition, you either need enough clothes to last you until the weekend, or you're going to need to take care of it at some point during the week. Hey, Sergeant Grid, thank you for your support of Al Gore's rhythm. And doing laundry on weekends, that's the thing. So, like, guys, we can do it ourselves and just deal with it ourselves. But if you really, really wanted to make the argument that you needed someone to do it for you, I like, during your weekdays, I think there's the argument that you could hire male housekeepers. Don't really see what's necessarily wrong with that, so long as it pays decent enough. I mean, we've got male caregivers, male nurses, a bunch of these traditionally female professions. There's like men can do them, absolutely. So I don't see why necessarily can't. Thursday is laundry day, Friday is bathroom cleaning. Don't even wear shirts. um, I guess everyone's got their own ways to adapt. But let's keep going with. Sorry, I'm just imagining going into like the office or whatnot, no shirt, just just bare chests, pecs and abs throughout the day. You still have the tie though. It's just the shirt and the tie. Let's keep going. Jeez.
I think that even desperate male feminists will probably go their own way from women too. I'll discuss more implications of digitally rendered poon in a moment. But first, let me tell everyone about today's sponsor, the MGTOW Book Collection Part 2. Whether you're getting camel toe and
Well, I'm not paid by this, but I do support Sandman, so we'll listen to this ad bit. Plus, hey, for the whole two of you that aren't familiar with the stuff that Sandman shills, this stuff might actually be worthwhile.
Cambodia, banging babes in burqas in Turkey, or taking Polaroids of ladyboys in Thailand. Luca Vendetti has a series of books to make you live the dream. His new 3-booklet series includes How to Live on $500 a Month in Cambodia, Turkey, and Vietnam, in addition to his classic How to Retire on $200K in Southeast Asia. He also has the MGTOW book. Visit MGTOWbooks.com and use the promo code SANDMAN to get 10% off. Now available in 4 formats: PDF, Mobi for Kindle, EPUB, and text-to-speech MP3.
I'm probably gonna have to look into some of that. Like, I've been to Vietnam before. I believe you probably could live on 500 a month. I considered, teaching English in Vietnam for a while. Just be like, oh hey, yeah, like how much does that make? And then I found out how much it made, and I was like, no, no, I make way more, way more over here than I would teaching English over there. So that that was kind of like one of the big things. I was like, yeah, no. Teaching English overseas sounds kind of nice until you realize that you can make significantly more just working a regular job in the West. Ooh, Grinch. I cannot repeat that. But let's keep going past the ad here.
Sponsor link is down below. Anyways, now back to how AI generated adult content is going to change the world Clown World show. First, it's going to mean that all the women.
Grinch teach English in the U.S. You assume that people in the U.S. want to learn English. I think it'd be better off, like, maybe trying to tutor people on calculus or something, or doing college prep tutorials. But I'm pretty sure that a good chunk of the U.S. these days does not want or care to learn it. If you're going to teach English, it's probably going to be in China or something. You know, people who actually want to move to the U.S. But yeah, let's just keep going here.
Women that make money in the industry will be out of business. Why pay for OnlyFans when you can have a free personalized virtual girlfriend or dozens of them all giving you attention? They can roleplay any fantasy scenario that you have in your head. It's a happy ending guaranteed each time. Not to mention that if 1 or 2% of a platform like OnlyFriends were actual real women, but you don't know which ones are real and fake, then it would help suspend your disbelief.
I think that that's probably one of the best arguments for it right there. That it's going to be a mix of artificial, like AI generated images and AI generated quote unquote stars, and real ones for camouflage. Because I've heard that part of the reason that these guys support OnlyFans models is they want to believe that they're supporting an actual person. So you kind of need to sneak in the AI stuff initially, which Sandman's going to get into a little more details here as to why this is very financially viable.
It's kind of like when you play the lottery. Every ticket is a winner until it's not. Just like every girl on OnlyFriends would be real until you find out that she's not. And odds are you'll never know if the woman you're talking to is real or not. Once things get to that point, your instincts will kick in and you won't think too much about it. Just like when I went on that website that generates nude images and saw hundreds of images scrolling past me. And I got lost in it the way that I get lost when I go to clickbait adult sites with real women. The suspense.
Hey, welcome, welcome. One fast stack, Mac the Snapper. Yeah. Ooh, and yeah, we've got OK Lord on stream, so let's bring him on. Hey, welcome, welcome. No worries. I noticed that your Discord thing changes. So are you Escape Lord now or still OK Lord? Nice, sounds good. All right, so have you been keeping up with the stream? I can send you the video. All right. Yeah, we're covering Sandman's latest video on AI generating spicier content and some of the implications as such. Yeah, all right, then we're more or less on the same page. We're about 4 minutes into it right now. Oh, hold on. Shit, I think they can't hear you. 1 second. Gotta change some of my settings. I keep forgetting to do this. There. Okay, try talking now, just so let's see.
Hello, do you hear my horrible voice?
Yeah, they should. I can see the microphone transmission going through.
All right, brilliant. All right, sorry I'm late, but I'm here. Just had a little IT emergency, that's all.
All right, well, now while this has been going on, I've been generating some stuff in the background, so... Here's the thing. So you see this, right? You see this image that's currently up on the screen?
Yeah, I say that's pretty nice looking.
Okay, well, that's a real one. Now, what do you think of... 2 seconds. about this one?
Oh, not bad. Uh, I don't know why, but it feels strange. But yes, not bad.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. This is AI generated, not real.
Oh, that's why I felt so uncanny. I was gonna say that, but I couldn't. Oh, I see it now. Look at the jacket with the stem. That makes no sense with the
Yeah.
clothing right there.
Yeah, more complex outfits are definitely gonna be kind of janky, but like just kind of base impression, which one feels, like it has more appeal?
Uphill?
Yeah.
It's kind of unfair because I can see the tatas over there, and this one I can't. But uh, I'm sorry, I gotta go with the tatas. I don't know why.
All right. Well, In that case, maybe I need to step it up a tiny bit here.
I
I
mean,
got.
sorry. When I see a girl have a small chin like that, you know the little dimple chin. I don't know what it's called. I always assume it's a boy, and that's something I learned when I had friends from South Korea.
Well, what about that one?
Much better. Now that one, yes. I mean, I don't see the tatas, but it has what I like on a face.
Yeah. There is one that generated with the tatas, but it violates YouTube's terms of service. So,
Oh, I would have picked that one probably.
yeah, it's playing kind of a crapshoot here. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could add the cleavage tag. Yeah, I'll add the cleavage tag to the next image generation. We'll see how that turns out.
You know, the more I look at her, the more I start gravitating to the AI because her face is not that good at all. The more flaws I see in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep going for a little bit while the next image generates, and then we'll get back to comparing. All right. So let's continue.
Suspension of disbelief was there. What's more, when I went to sites with real women after looking at the real women started looking fake, more so than the fake ones. I think this process is going to be gradual when it comes to replacing real women. I think a platform like OnlyFans is going to start posting their own AI generated women with pictures in the next year or two.
That I think is a very interesting and very likely possibility. Like, OnlyFans deciding to make their own AI models in house.
I wonder too. I mean, look, it's the end. You won't be AI when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, and also yeah, just for comparison, like now that I can know the preferences to appeal to, how's uh how's that for an eyeful?
Yeah, that's a winner. Except for the eyes, I can, the little mistake there with the white. It looks
Yeah.
like he's trying to put like a ray trace. Yeah, it's probably a ray trace that he thinks that he's supposed to have lights there, but it's not. Because look at the eyes on the right and the left. It's trying to mimic it, but it didn't do it correctly.
Yeah, slight error, but let's be honest, this is raw image. Like imagine posting a photo of a model with absolutely no Photoshop used on it whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, you can't compete with that. Look at it. I mean, I can see the fakeness now, but at a glance, heck, I don't even need a glance. I could just ignore it. That's delicious.
Yeah. And then you see this, like I'll be honest, I don't know whether I've just gotten extra sensitive to this stuff, but like I see that face and just that expression right there. Like cover up the appealing part just look at the face, it's like, I don't know, it just reeks of attitude. Am I off base here? But yeah, so it's a Dragon Lord Peter. There will always be guys who want the real thing, but those who choose the AI waifus have three advantages: plenty of choices, none of the drama, and 0% chance to get an STD. AI waifus are the win. Well, that's the thing. Like, with guys supporting AI, like women on OnlyFans, how are they necessarily going to know that the woman is AI? Because again, like, these are just raw images that I'm generating, barely even curating them. With a little bit of Photoshop, they'd be indistinguishable. So that's we'll keep going a little bit. Love that Lord. Who's the guest? This is okay, Lord. He's got a lot of experience in IT, so he's really handy to have on for a bunch of these tech things.
Well, trying to.
Man, it's just nice to have someone in the tech field to bounce off of, at the very least, for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and right now, I just want to piss off Red Hat because I'm pissed off at them right now. But that's normal in my field. You get pissed off at this person, that person, and it's forever.
Yeah, no, oh god, I get that. Sometimes I worry that I hold too much of a grudge. It's like, nah, you gotta, you learn a lesson once, you don't want to forget it. Let's keep going.
And because the platform has real women, you won't even notice that the fake ones aren't real. If the transition takes 5 to 10 years, then you'll never know that the real ones have all been replaced by artificial ones, and you'll keep paying for them. The software might become so sophisticated that they even start to age and retire. How would you know they aren't real women that decide to leave the business? OnlyFans would make a killing because they wouldn't have to share any of their revenue at that point. That's what I'd be doing if I was an adult content platform owner. Figure
Now, that is an interesting prospect. If it turns out that AI generated images can make you just as much as amateurs posting from their bedrooms, why would you bother giving the amateurs, 30, 50, 70% cut? Why not just make it all in house and take it all and pay significantly fewer programmers and artists to generate stuff of equal or superior quality?
I don't know. The only thing I can think of is, hey, use our platform. We'll advertise for you. Like, it's just that. But even then,
We'll advertise for you, but it's the thing. It's all, again, I'm hardcore capitalist this way, so like, I would think, what gives me the most profit? Because, like, am I necessarily going to make more with real life? Now, let's use our favorite top 10%er on OnlyFans, Brittany Venti.
no, no.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. She does not post not safe for work content. She posts cat
Yeah,
photos.
but she has all the eyeball training. Come on, look at how many miles distance they are.
I mean, like, we know the song, like, I would walk 5,000 miles was specifically between Venti's eyeballs. But that's beside the point. Like, her OnlyFans is popular because her IRL personality is popular. Personality in massive air quotes with an asterisk and a proper definition in the footnotes.
Yeah, footnotes. I don't even want to think about her feet. Oh God. Ugh.
Well, yeah, but like only feet is a whole other discussion.
You know, look, the fact that she burps to get attention is bad enough.
She's probably kicking herself for not getting on the whole bathwater craze early on.
Oh gosh, you would have been the next fart in the jar girl.
She's probably kicking herself for not getting on that either. Like, I mean, like, let's be honest. If she could figure out a way to somehow appear still like a trad wife, but also sell burps in a jar, she would.
Yeah. Hey, look, women do what they're allowed to do,
True.
and
Yidis,
that's definitely one of them.
Yidis, right now, this is real. But that's the thing. Yidis has to ask, is this AI or real? Now,
If you have to question it, that's gonna be some interesting times, right?
well, here, let me just put up the latest one. Because, yeah, the algorithm's getting a little bit spicier here. I just have to vet them for YouTube, but yeah.
In the future, the only way for us to know if it was AI if it's too beautiful.
I mean, like, here's the thing though. We're already getting to the point that like an artist can legit spend hours of work making a proper hand-drawn image, have the video posted of them making the image, and literally the first comment on that image is going to be, "This looks AI generated."
I mean, just look at it; it's beautiful. Even though I do see the flaws, I can
Again,
just ignore it, and it's just gonna get better anyway.
what's the thing? It's going to get better, but again, this is just a raw image. How long do you think it would take me in Photoshop to just touch up a couple things here? Because really, it's just a couple details around the eyes. That's all that's messed. Sorry, 2 seconds, guys. Gotta get the door. Sorry about that delivery. All right, so yeah, that's the thing. Just a couple details around the eyes there. That's really about it. And I mean, honestly, this okay. I'll be honest. This looks better than most of the content that is produced and is locked behind a paywall.
By a long shot too. On top of that,
I think that's the sad thing is one of the most disappointing things is for research purposes getting some of the stuff that's behind a paywall by not paying for it, obviously. I have some dignity. And then being like, wow, dudes paid for this? Legit?
apparently they do. I mean,
Apparently.
like, just look at it. Just look at this. Like, can even normal human beings do this? The answer is yes. It's just how badly women have fallen in society as well.
Like that's the
Like
thing. Like,
they don't put effort.
no.
The AI puts no effort, and look what they can accomplish.
What's the thing? Like the curators of these AI things, they put in way more effort than most of these OnlyFans girls. Like eventually you're going to have it's the- like if you had me as an OnlyFans girl thinking I need to compete, I need to be at the top of my game, I'd basically be downloading these kinds of images and then replicating them to the best of my ability IRL. Like I'd basically be getting these as reference poses, but the very fact that I would go and get reference poses and then try to emulate them for maximum appeal already means I'm putting in more effort than 90% of OnlyFans models.
All I gotta say is I can't wait until they're replaced. They deserve to be replaced.
We're working on it. Like, I need to spend some time to set up a proper like Instagram feed or something and a fake social media profile, because this right here, this is not just content for the stream. This, gentlemen, is the beginning of the new gray waifu. Because purple skin was too much of a giveaway that it wasn't real. I figure, create a fake enough personality, get a proper semi-fake social media out there, just try to emulate it appropriately, and then bam, you got the warband funded by OnlyFans, financed by simps who are simping over AI. I think it's got potential. At the very least, it's worth a shot. They rejected the purple skin waifu, so maybe I just got to try a little bit harder to trick them. But let's get back to Sandman's video and just keep hitting the generate button every couple minutes to pop up a new image.
Figuring out ways to cut costs when it comes to talent, editors, camera work, as well as makeup people. But you know what's going to happen? Other companies are going to start flooding OnlyFans with fake women too. So it's going to get cheaper and cheaper.
God, like, I'm sorry. Looking at this, it's like, is this supposed to be sexy?
It looks like a blow up doll.
This looks like a dude. Like, I'm sorry, you can't look at those face proportions and jawlines and tell me with 100% confidence that this is a female.
Women don't know what men find sexy. This is why when you look at OnlyFans or anywhere really, usually is a man behind the scenes telling them what to do.
Sadly enough, that is, well, probably at least the more successful ones, yeah. Like,
Typically what girls think is sexy is let me shave all my hair, put a whole bunch of piercings and tattoos all over the place. Are there some guys that like that? Yeah. Do the majority of guys like that? Probably not.
well, that's kind of the whole thing with trying to appeal to the woke is the woke are a very small part of the population. Like, if you're going to appeal like on the scale of OnlyFans and where you need to capture a large portion of the audience, like it's basically you either need to aim for a very low number of very high paying people or a large number of very cheap people. So either your OnlyFans is very niche, but you charge out the ass for it, meaning that you have to do hyper specialized work, or you have to appeal to a mass audience, which means you need to hold wide appeal. And yeah, freaking shaved head and lots of tattoos, that's a niche market. Yeah, that Dragon Lord Peter's right. Like, corpse can literally run a acorn. Say, oop.
304s are already raging over AI. Just saw a vid of one, believe me it gold. And the comments, I will now send you this vid on Discord, check it later.
Yeah, send it in actually, and we might take a look at that after we're done with Sandman here. Chronic's going to be streaming at 9:30, so we'll probably cut off around the 2.5 hour mark. But I don't see us taking 2.5 hours on one video, even with my terrible pacing. But yeah, let's keep going. We're about halfway through this.
Cheaper to produce programming, but there'll be less and less eyeballs per video or image. It's a race to the bottom. like every industry is in right now, where people compete to squeeze every dollar that they can out of it. The biggest losers in all of this are going to be the real life women. They will lose what little money they make from those platforms with their bodies. Plus, it's also going to spill over to Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms. The AI software is far from perfect. It's now messing up about 50 to 60% of the faces on that website. But here are a few of the pictures I grabbed from there and that did actually work out. If I didn't tell you that they were fake, you probably have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the one on the left there, I'd be like, no, that one's kind of sus. But aside from that, it just looks like a really good Photoshop job.
I would agree with that, and they're getting pretty good too.
Yeah,
Like,
one of the I checked Civet AI, which is where I get a whole bunch of my models for Stable Diffusion that I use to generate some of these current images. And yeah, they've been adding not only stuff for more skin texture, but even stuff that appeals to extremely niche audiences. Well, yeah, Spider Spectre. It looks fake-ish, but to be fair, most real women with filters have that paint skin look too. Exactly. It's going to get harder and harder to tell the difference between a woman using an Instagram filter and an AI generated image. On the left, fake no matter what. It's like, eh. I mean, I don't think that there's many with water balloons that big, but there's some. Not many, but some. But let's keep going.
I posted this one with two muscular Asian women on Twitter. And
Sorry, obligatory eyeball muscles video.
You need to have muscles on your eyeballs.
Like the one on the right is believable, but then the one on the left is like, what?
many people thought that they were actually real. Only one person asked, why does one of the women have two arms? Even I didn't pick that up. But when you generate the perfect virtual girl in a world where you already spend most of your time socializing online, why would you socialize in real life?
No, here's the thing. Like looking at this one right here, is this AI or real?
I don't know why, but I feel like this one is possibly AI, but
Here's the thing.
I can't tell. I have to look too hard.
I think it's AI because of this lamp right here. Like if you photoshopped out these two lamps right here, I think it'd be significantly harder to tell. But these to me are the biggest giveaways that this is AI. But if you took that,
I'm looking at the hair in the shadow. You see where the shadow is just too even? That's just like it's like a straight line on where her lips are and to the left side of the cheek. Like that kind of shadowing is very aggressive and it looks too perfect.
I'll concede that there's some techniques in photography that would allow for that. But really, it's this kind of jankiness with the background in the upper left. That, I think, is the biggest giveaway.
It is actually, what is that background? I can't even recognize it.
Yeah, like the AI kind of got like janky back here and it can't figure out, is this a cabinet or is this like another room or is this a hallway? What would be hilarious if we found out that this is indeed real, but just looking at the human here is like, yeah, at a glance, you can't tell. After a couple seconds, you still can't tell.
I mean, it's possible it's Photoshop, like you said. Like, it's real than Photoshop, and that makes it even harder.
Nah, no, like the background makes me believe that this is AI.
I mean, if we have to question it, we're gonna be in nice times. Don't you agree?
Precisely. That's the thing. Looking at this after seeing like, oh, he shows some real, then he shows some AI, then he posts this, and we're actually questioning, is it real or AI?
I gotta question it. I'm gonna have to question everything I see.
Yeah. Well, sorry. This one just turned out. So one second, I've got a bit more got some fresh eye candy. Uh Not a huge fan of how the face exactly turned out on that, but
I mean, it'd be nice if we could just tell it, "Hey, fix the face," and mwah, almost
well,
perfect.
that's the thing. What I would do if I wanted to iterate on this better is I'd take this image, send it to an image to image modifier with the same prompts, and then just refresh until the face improved.
Yeah, because that face is nah. But everything else, dang.
Actually, here, this one again literally just popped out. Let me bring it in. Clothes are a bit janky, but
It's passable. It's like you said, they struggle a lot with the eyes.
yeah, well, I think that's more so because we as humans are very sensitive to eyes.
Like this one, I feel like the eyes are not even in this one. That's the first thing I noticed when I
Yeah,
looked at
that's
this
the thing.
image.
You know
The
what?
eyes just feel so unnatural.
You're right. Like the eyes, they don't look like they're evenly spaced from the nose here. Very, very subtle. Also, for no reason, is that what gray looks like in real life? Yes, I'm absolutely a super hot white haired chick. I'm just using a voice changer right now to sound like a dude. Sunglasses would help hide it. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's keep going now that Sandman has thoroughly shattered our ability to tell reality from fake.
Life. Plus, the AI would know what makes you laugh and what interests you, so the conversations with it will be far more entertaining and interesting.
This I'm thinking is real just because of how chaotic the hair is.
Actually, look how well detailed the fingers are. That's another thing I know they struggle with.
Yeah, well, okay. Now the funny thing is, some artists will say like, "Oh, well, the AI can't draw hands properly." To which I, as someone who's worked in art a lot of it, worked in art quite a bit. Oh, really? Can you? To anyone who's tried to draw, hands are some of the most frustrating, difficult things to make, period. There's so many tiny bones compressed into such a tight space, and we are super sensitive to any problems with them. Not quite as much as faces, but it's a close second. Sorry, it's a close second. But yeah, gloss on the fingernails, not this, I'm pretty sure, is a real image, 100%. Like the lighting is just so consistent, and the hair being that chaotic, like especially if we compare it to like this hair right here, like hair this chaotic is natural. Yeah, hair, yeah, hands, feet, all that kind of stuff is what like traditional artists will struggle with. They're very difficult to get under control and make look natural. I remember hearing about one artist who essentially created a whole world building thing where it was culturally appropriate for everyone to wear mitts at all times just because he didn't want to draw hands. Uh, yeah, a couple more minutes to go. Let's keep going.
Home instead. It's like people that choose to stay home and watch Netflix on their 85-inch television instead of dealing with the hassle of going to a movie theater these days. The movie theater experience is more advanced, but the hassle of going out is too much when your TV is close enough. AI adult content won't be like the real thing, but it'll be close enough.
Oh god, that's actually something there. Freaking theaters. Like my local one is, I don't think it's opened yet. It hasn't reopened since everything closed down. And that's like, even if there was something that I wanted to see in theaters, it's a good drive away. So I got to spend like an extra like 30 minutes to an hour in transit round trip and then pay more. Like, or alternatively, I can just catch whatever's on the internet.
I like the internet option better.
Exactly. And there's just so much of an interesting backlog of content on the internet. And I can have it. Like, why am I going to the theater? Like, because I want to have overpriced food, potentially rowdy neighbors. I'll admit there's maybe some movies worth seeing in theaters. Let me put it this way. If they said, hey, we are going to run a different episode of the original unedited Star Wars trilogy, like 3 weeks back to back in theaters, I'd go. Like, I would go and experience the original Star Wars trilogy in theaters again. Like I'd go to effort for that. But like this latest Dungeons and Dragons movie, no. No, 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 no. So I think the last live action movie I saw in theaters, I believe, was Pacific Rim. I think I saw that in theaters. I'm not sure. And that was a good movie. I'd say at least a 6 out of 10. Maybe an 8 out of 10. Because I personally liked it. And then there was kind of like a pseudo theatrical experience where I saw Mad Max Fury Road. And I liked that one. Like, I would definitely watch that again. That Condor. 2 movies I paid to see in theaters were Cocaine Bear and John Wick 4. That's the thing. Cocaine Bear, I picked up the totally legit theater version, but not about to run out to theaters yet. And John Wick 4, I haven't even seen John Wick 1 to 3. So getting into John Wick 4, like, I don't know. Like, the John Wick movies, they feel more like what I'd watch like over at a friend's house, like on kind of a movie night sort of deal. Like, they've got that like nice pulpy action movie thing. I don't think, oh yeah, John Wick, that's something that I want to see in theaters. But let's continue here.
And in the end, that's all that really matters. But AI generated men for women will never satisfy them because they need real life guys to torment. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that'll be enough too.
Well, do women need real life guys to torment? Like, okay, Lord, do you know which game, particularly released in the early 2000s, but is a brand that is still running fairly strong, is incredibly popular amongst women?
Women.
Yes.
It's an online game, right?
Um, no, it's, well, I mean, it could be, but no, it
Sounds
is
like
it.
The Sims.
Bingo. Got it right away.
God damn. Oh, fuck. I know this, but I do.
That's the thing. The Sims, incredibly popular amongst women. Now, what if you took the women? What if you took the Sims, but instead of Simlish, you added chatbots?
Ooh, you just gave me an idea for making a video game for women.
Yeah,
Just have ChatGPT make them feel good in the game. It's like, oh, look, these are real online humans, all fake, like them.
that's the well, that's the thing. Like the Sims, where they get to, like, let's be honest. The Sims is just a very advanced version of playing with dolls. That no, even Chad is well aware of women's addiction to The Sims. It's
Even my sister, I was like, what? And all our friends, Sims this, Sims that, every goddamn DLC, so many DLCs for Sims 3. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
like thousands of dollars they spend on that. And then they bitch at us. Oh, you're playing another video game, blah blah blah. But then they spend $1,000 in DLC on one game.
Ooh, also, I got that video from Pixels, so get that opened up. We'll probably take a bit of a look at that after we finish off the Sandman one. We might do a part 2 where we go through that one in a little more depth, or even finish it off next week. Moon, would anyone watch an AI made film? Well, we can pull up an AI made film because there's actually an AI made short film that I've been made aware of, and it's interesting. So, people will watch AI streamers, they'll look at randomized AI art. At the very least, I'd check out a film made entirely by AI just for the novelty of seeing what the heck does it make. But when it comes to The Sims, like, I think the main thing missing from The Sims is the dialogue. I think if you added in chatbots to The Sims, it kept all the same functionality of The Sims, but allowed for full on believable conversations between all the Sims talking, women would get hooked because they'd absolutely start screwing with them. Keep going with this.
But still, the AI won't hand over resources and won't have any real status. Things that women crave in a man. A man craves a woman's visual appeal far more. Women are so screwed. Now I'm going to change the topic up a bit.
That's interesting. So, money and status. Well, that's the thing. Do women need real life money and status? Or do they just need a supplement, let's say? It's like, how do I say this? So, do you think that a woman could be satisfied by being a virtual top dog? No? Maybe? Probably distracted by something, so we'll keep going. Coldimus Maximus, I don't understand the question. Well, think about it. Does a woman need to get the sense of being top dog and in control socially with real people? Or could they potentially be satisfied by being the top dog of a virtual community? So, as what's the process for getting into the Conan server? DM me on Discord. Like, see, I think they might crave power way too much to be distracted like that, but they play The Sims, don't they? Like, if they're willing to spend hours upon hours playing The Sims and not messing with IRL people, then at least some part of their brain must be satisfied by the power trip that is The Sims. I just think there's something there. It's like guys are willing to grind for hours to get virtual money, like, and to get a sense of accomplishment and empowerment in games. Like, surely women are not immune to that same sort of psychological trap.
Recently, I was watching a video by Wheat Waffles, the biggest of the black pill. Looks like I'm getting closer and closer to Dennis.
One second.
Regurgitating.
I skipped around there, but like this, Jesus.
I don't know what I'm
Waffles,
looking
the
at.
biggest.
I'm scared.
Like, wow. Just okay. Sorry, like I gotta put up another piece of eye candy for a second, like virtual eye candy, just because. Wow. I was like this looks more fake than AI. I'm sure this is real, but this looks more fake than AI.
It reminds me of the Amarath thing that I saw with Better Bachelor, where it was Amarath, and I'm like, man, that looks so fake, but it was real, and the AI was actually more real.
Yeah, no, like here, compare that to this. There's a little bit of jankiness with the mouth, I'd say, but at the very least, this is far more pleasant to look at.
Yeah, the other one just looks like a psychopath or something. Something's wrong, like really wrong.
Like, it's like I guess we'll go back to it just to analyze it a bit, but it's like the eyebrows look kind of relaxed, but then the eyes themselves are like super intense. That's something about the. I think that might be like some kind of hint as to like what's the deal with the crazy eyes, because it's like the eyes are always stressed out, even when the rest of the face is supposedly relaxed. Yeah. Dragon Lord Peter. Gray's wife who looks seductive. This chick looks like she's about to literally eat you, heart and all. I mean, yeah, this is spooky. Let's keep going. Hopefully he'll switch images in a second.
Of the black pill content creators, and he was complaining about many of the grifters in the manosphere. They were just regurgitating content without creating anything unique, and how there was little to no incentive to innovate in this space, but just keep repeating yourself forever and maybe putting up 5 to 10 videos a day doing it. This is what the manosphere has evolved to. I was once criticized for putting out 1 video per day. Now people are flooding their channels with multiple shorts, 10-minute clips, and full live streams each and every single day.
I mean, that's personally that kind of content production schedule is nuts to me. Like, I have a hard enough time trying to go through these streams and going like, okay, here's a clip, here's a segment, because like I'm running at least 5 streams a week. Like not counting the ones that I guest star on. and I'm trying to run both like a Conan server and now a Minecraft server. And I've got to try to make video content for the channel because I think for the past couple weeks it's been nothing but live streams. And I'm trying to put together all these side projects on top of that and, you know, have an actual IRL hobby. So, ooh, that one's actually quite. Sorry, this latest one's actually kind of pretty. So, I'm gonna put that up while Sandman talks. Like, sorry, like sorry, Sandman, but I think that I'm a little bit kind. I like to be a little bit kinder to my viewers than Chronic is, or at the very least, I want to keep those audience retention eyes. So, here, guys. I think that this is a little more appealing. All right, let's keep going here.
If you think that's bad, then just wait until artificial intelligence begins to pump out content. I'm sure there'll be channels pumping out dozens or hundreds of automated videos each day, each and every day. Thunderfoot mentioned this first and saw the writing on the wall. When I first started, the standard was scripted and well thought out videos, and I burned the midnight oil every day to put one out. Today I'm competing with channels that are burying me in the search results, and that's before YouTube throttles me down. I initially succeeded at this because, in the beginning,
If you could see what I'm seeing right now, chat, you'd be thankful that my wife is up on screen right now.
it was hard. There weren't hundreds of Manosphere channels there to rip off content. I also dip my toes in travel videos, but the economics of making such videos, unless it's in a short driving distance, doesn't make any sense with gas and hotel prices. I'm also planning on putting out 40 Lego videos.
You know, I think that I'm gonna have to talk to Sandman about, hey, man, how about you use AI images to use as your stock stuff? Because A, you can pay me for them instead of having to pay some sort of stock site, and B, I guarantee you that they are going to be far more attractive than these IRL women. So, like this current image I'm looking at is a good 50 pounds over the level of attractiveness. So, yeah. I am a merciful ghost. Let's keep going.
In 2 batches of 20 each, but I doubt that'll work either. The stuff I'm producing is rather difficult and unique. It's not just me saying something about women and having other content creators show up and steal my words and repackage them. It's something that's impossible to steal. Most people also lack the OCD levels and patience to make something that is that perfect. The economics of something like Lego content only seem to work for channels that make super fast-paced videos every week or two, or those that make daily content that's kind of cheap. I'll try it and see what happens. As for the Sandman channel content, I'm on multiple platforms and growing fairly quickly on Twitter and Rumble, but the problem is I'm not growing fast enough. At this pace, I'll have to stop sooner rather than later, most likely in the fall or early winter when I get to my 10-year anniversary. I'd rather do something new and innovate instead. MGTOW's also about to win with AI-generated women, unless women successfully ban it, which is something I don't see happening.
How would they ban it? Like, seriously, how would they ban this? I'm not using an external website for this. They could shut down, like, the Stable Diffusion, site that I download the program from. They could shut down the site that gives me the models. They could shut down Midjourney and every online generator. I have this stuff locally on my PC. I don't need an internet connection to create this stuff. How are they going to stop me? Lost Fan, I don't think Sandman wants to put attractive AI waifus. Needs to show you what corrupted female nature looks like in pictures. Pig is worth 1,000 words and all. I don't know. These, well, maybe. Maybe you're onto something there. But, like, the one I'm looking at now, like, it would be... like I'll show it's not terrible right now, but guys, like this is the image up now. Is like, is this? I don't know. I don't really see this as being like an own like some sort of more deeper philosophical point of essays. Like he's got a woman with cleavage up looking at a computer while he's discussing his own future plans for online content. I don't see how this necessarily is any sort of improvement over what an AI could produce aside from perhaps visual accuracy. Golden Smack us by banning women images. That would be funny. That's the only way. Well, let's be honest. We're already at the point where if an image is too attractive or provocative, it gets banned or it gets restricted. So, like, the bare feet of women is banned. I think part of that, though, might just be India. Like, India's got a very weird taboo about the bottoms of feet, which I think has only contributed to the amount of foot fetishists in the world. Yeah, yeah, okay, well, that's good. So, all right, we'll keep going while okay, or it deals with, real life shit that probably makes him a good chunk of cash.
MGTOW won't be a term used to describe men that abstain from relationships. It'll be superfluous because the majority of men out there will be going their own way. Financially, I'll be okay walking away from this space, but the thought does actually give me a mini existential crisis because I need something to give me purpose. I'm also pretty sure Bitcoin will go to the moon at some point and take me with it. Even if it doubles its previous high of 70,000, in the next run I'll be able to retire in style. Then I can travel and make videos without worrying about funding. I can travel the world and document the decline of women as the men walk away and as populations crash all over the world, because men would rather have AI girlfriends instead of real ones. I think it's going to be every man for himself, enjoying life to the fullest, trying to save enough money to pay for a decent retirement.
I'm sorry, that face right there. Excuse me, gentlemen. I will. This one's nice. Stream may get taken down for it, but don't say I never do anything for you guys, chat. Like, eyes aren't perfect, but it's better. It's just comparing the facial looks. Like this real woman looks kind of like confused and upset. Like the waifu is none of those. Like that's the thing. Like just right here with just today's low effort AI tech. Even if the face looks somewhat janky, it's still more appealing. So, ugh, just ugh. And enjoy a far more appealing image, chat.
And nursing home care in a world where there are too many old people and not enough young ones to take care of them. And that's what I think will be one of the unintended consequences of AI generated porn and sex bots. But enough of my ramblings. Anyways, that's it for today. Don't forget to smash the like button the way that in 10 years' time, it'll be too much of a hassle to go and smash real life women. Bang the bell and check out the mystery link. Follow me on BitChute, Twitter, and Facebook to get tomorrow's video today. Subscribe to me on Minds, Odyssey, MGTOW.tv, and Rumble to get the video for the day after tomorrow. This channel's been demonetized. And if you want to help me keep making content, then please support me through Subscribestar. There's a link to it in the description. Or you can do an hour-long coaching chat with the Sane Man for $45 US. And it won't rush you out the door like a cheap whore. Thanks for taking your daily dose of red pills, and remember, a red pill a day keeps the end of the Sandman channel away. So enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.
Yeah, Oh, I do support Sandman stuff, so yeah, by all means, check out both his main channel, Sandman, and Sandman 2, which I think is less demonetized than his main one. Because he's made good content, he's one of the OGs, and yeah, I support it. Though maybe maybe you guys should comment that he should use AI images for his stock photos instead of his actual stock photos because they're more appealing. Because I wouldn't mind creating a library of nice AI waifus for Sandman to use as stock images. He'd probably save money and and maybe he'd send a couple bucks my way. So, well, I I'm gonna grab another drink. Let's see. We are currently at 1 hour and 20 minutes into the stream. So I'm gonna keep generating images, but we're going to check out this video sent by Pixels. So thank you very much, Pixels. And yeah, we'll probably start in on this one for a while, and then as it gets closer to Chronic's stream, we'll probably save the rest of it for later if there's still more content. So I'm going to step off for a couple seconds and leave you guys with some AI generated beats, because I can do that. I'll be right back. Enjoy the soothing renditions of new composition number 315. Yeah, I don't know about that one, guys. Like, I don't know. This AI generated trap music. I mean, not that I'm really a connoisseur of trap to begin with. It just seems weird. Like, I don't know. It ain't quite doing it for me. Fits a sunset backdrop better. Yeah, that's the thing. Like this AI music, just like maybe some of the ambient stuff would fit, like without being unrecognizable. But some of this trap stuff, like some of the more complex melodies or requires beats, like it's just very hit or miss. Soon, my fellow warbanders, a new world order of AI waifus awaits. Well, that's why I'm planning on getting on board with this early on. Like, I am very much like get on board with the early adopters stuff, because like if people like me don't get on board and start figuring out how to use this to benefit my interests, then we're basically leaving it to all the techie weirdos who are probably hardcore leftists and communists. So, much like Young Ripper says, you can't ignore culture. And I think that we can agree that AI, it's going to be a big part of culture coming up. So we need to get a hold on it and get a presence in it now, because it's going to be very easy for us to lose it, and it'll end up becoming entirely the domain of people who don't like us. But for now, we'll take the AI foo off the screen for the moment. Apologies for the crazy eyes.
You need to have muscles on your eyeballs.
Would I consider selling Cuck AI to Murphy and Sneeko? Connell, I am a capitalist. I will sell AI to whoever is willing to pay me for it. And at that point, it becomes a bidding war. If Murphy and Sneeko want some Cuck AI, then they will absolutely get some Cuck AI. Please get the AI back. Okay, here's the AI foo back. Let's see. Okay, this image is good, but the AI is currently pushing the limits of what I think I can safely put up on YouTube. So I'm going to have to make sure that this stream successfully goes up to Odyssey. This next image is kind of cursed, but yeah, here. Yeah, we'll let the audio play just for the sake of everyone's eyeballs, and yeah, here's the latest image. Yeah, so hi YouTube. So this is Fembots, a deep dive. Will AI robots replace women? By Abigail Catonin. So let's hear some cope, seething, and balding, guys.
For us, for women, unfortunately, or so I've heard. Let's talk about fembots.
Welcome to the future of sex.
If you could streamline your spouse, overhaul every physical flaw.
What have they done to you?
Robot? I call them fembots. Bring yourself back online.
Hi, I'm Abigail. Thank you for clicking. I hope you'll stick around. This is a deep dive, and we're going pretty deep. So this might be a long one, but for good reason. It's worth it. When machinery meets femininity, you get the fembot. And we're going to go over this, and I'm going to go pretty in depth about all of the insanity of fembots. So what is a fembot exactly? So female plus robot equals fembot, right? Easy math. Basically extremely realistic, crazy advanced humanoid robots equipped with artificial intelligence, and they're made to look, act, sound, and feel like a real person. A number of scientists have predicted that robots will become a very normal, everyday part of our social lives in the future. Not too.
Well, let's be honest. Like, what defines a robot? Jaded Warlock, where's the vid? I am basically, for the sake of my chat's eyeballs, every time the hostess of the vid pops up, I'm just putting up the AI waifu overlay and only taking her down when there's, some kind of clip that I think might be relevant playing. So, yeah, if you guys would rather I don't shove the waifu overlay up, then you can say as much. But quite frankly, I think that this is far more appealing than the woman talking. So, but here's the thing: robots being a part of our everyday lives. What defines a robot? Like, we already have machines that do tasks for us every day to greater or lesser degrees. So, are we talking like humanoid robots? I mean, tons of people have like Alexa or like Google Home that speaks to them in a humanoid voice, like with voice interface. There's voice activated GPS. Some people will just speak directly to their phones to get answers to questions on the internet or to do certain tasks. So, what are we talking about here? Are we talking like that they're a pseudo humanoid interaction, kind of like a Roomba, but with a little more realism? No, exactly. Jade Rock, exactly. Our PCs and phones are technically robots. Dumb robots, but robots, yes. And so, robots being a part of our everyday lives, yeah, I'm sure scientists can predict the present. But with the future, again, what defines a robot? Like, not that I'm expecting her to define it, but let's keep going.
Far in the future. And for some people, they already are. David Levy, who wrote Of Love, Sex, and Robots, he predicts that in the future, people won't just want to have relations with robots, but they'll also want to marry them, have them as romantic partners, incorporate them into their lives, into their families.
Why would a man want to marry a robot? I mean, I know that it's done, and like a man has like married his waifu and whatnot, married a hologram. But as the whole idea of marriage is questioned more and more in society, like, why would men want to get married even if it's to something that isn't real? Like, why are you going to pay out the butt for like a major ceremony? So, no, haven't some Japanese people already married their dolls? Well, yes, but what does it mean to marry the doll? Like, they had a ceremony? Like, if I'm paying Azure Lane and I use the promise ring to marry one of my boat waifus, is that a marriage ceremony? Am I marrying a bunch of pixels or a PNG? Like, if there's no legally binding contract and the whole religious thing's been thrown out the window because it's not between two humans, then what's the point? Like, why not? Like, why do you need to go through all the song and dance to get quote unquote married? So, yeah, let's keep going here.
Lives.
But it's actually progressed to the point where it's like, oh, she's my wife.
And a couple of years ago, a proposal was discussed within the European Parliament to create a legal framework for incorporating robots into the legal community, giving them a legal.
Integrating robots into the legal community. Okay, let's hear her elaborate.
Legal status. They would basically call them electronic personalities in this proposal, and then this could be extended to certain human-like robots or androids. There's also been a huge
European Union is discussing treating robots as legal entities comparable to humans. Ugh. Canada literally discussed the zombie apocalypse, and it made more sense than this. Oh, exactly, Blinded Journey. Why do we need to give the sex bots rights? Ugh. What, to make them less appealing? Ugh.
Goddamn fucking white knights. Fuck them all.
No, don't fuck them all. That's exactly why they white knight.
Not if it's up the butt.
Dude, have you met the white knights? I'm pretty sure that they'd take it up the butt and be happy about it.
You have a point.
I'll send you the video. Just
No, no! I don't need more eyeball training. No!
I'm not saying that you need to watch it. I'm just sending it to you in case you want to follow along with the audio. Like, I'm doing chat a favor here by just keeping the waifu up because there's no need for all of us to suffer. Just me.
Oh my god, it's 30 minutes?
33 minutes, 31 seconds. Yeah, this may become a two-parter.
More like a 10-parter.
Oh no, it won't take that long. Also, I just keep clicking the generate button in Stable Diffusion every time I get the chance, and yeah, there's some nice stuff. So I'm gonna just make a poll real quick. Yeah, so chat, I'm going to make a poll here. Do you want a variety of AI waifus? Odds are yes. Yes, consistent characters appealing. Or variety is the spice of life. So yeah, you guys can. Oh, my audio sounds kind of low. I can probably turn it up a little bit. Game's already kind of maxed out. Maybe I was just talking low there, but we'll see. So, all right, let's continue with the video. We're not even 2 minutes into it.
Amount of posts online recently. Okay, I got a lot of it too in the comments on the video I made about Real Doll. I'll link that below if you want to watch it after this. You should, and they're very shocking. I'll get into all of that, the posts online, the community where.
Jaded Warlock got some anime dog girl AI waifus. I could. That's the thing. If you have specific waifus that you want, like I probably won't be able to remember all the ones that you request in chat, but like if you message me on Discord, I do take AI commissions, and I'm not going to charge that much. It's more so like pay what you like for what you want, but I'm more than willing to cater to a variety of needs with AI stuff. So you're missing the option so long as it appeals to my yellow fever. Fair enough, Connell. But I can't assume that everyone has yellow fever.
Rights to robots to limit access, cause men would just log off from society, and who would work to upkeep those parasites?
You know what? You're probably not wrong. Like, give the robots legal entities, make it so that the government supports the robots, and then end up finding some way to extract money from the men to finance the government, supposedly on behalf of the robots. Essentially just making the robots the new female class. I mean, I'm thinking that like, if women support this, what they don't realize is that they're effectively supporting their own replacement. Like, they are not going to exist as citizens above robots. They are going to be inferior to robots. Hey, Tim Elgato, you gotta go? Well, thanks for stopping by, Tim. Much appreciated. But let's keep going here.
Where it comes from and why it's so disturbing, but let's start at the beginning. So for fembots specifically, the term originated and was popularized in the 70s in a TV show called The Bionic Woman.
Maximize this just so that we can show the clips here.
I call them fembots.
And then it got more popular when the Austin Power movies came out.
You can't resist us, Mr. Powers. You can't resist us, Mr. Powers.
Au contraire, baby. I think you can't resist me.
The concept of a fembot has changed a lot since then, though. So the Austin Powers fembots were basically like a parody of the ones from The Bionic Woman. They look like super beautiful women. They're dressed like pretty provocatively, and they fight with guns, which are hidden in their boobs, because that's totally optimal and convenient. Their boobs can shoot bullets and also spray like an aphrodisiac gas. Like a chemical weapon. Okay, where the situation calls for, you know? They seduce and then they kill. They hide their processing units under their, like, bouffant hair because it's not ladylike to show your processing unit. When the fembots are activated, it's over for you. You might as well take yourself out because there's no winning against this beautiful army of girls in go-go boots. Fembots in movies and
Unless A, you have the sexual appeal of Mike Myers, or B, aren't so much of a simp that you decide to lower your weapons because some sexy woman appears and then get gunned down by their machine gun tatas. Like, let's be honest, they are very defeatable. Like, you're not at all helpless if you either A, are a Chad, or B, just not a simp. Yeah, UC would love these. A cloud of kush every time he smashes his yellow fever. Wait, and where did she get that the processing units are hidden under the hairstyle? Like, I've watched those movies a couple times. Never once was it shown that the processing units are under the hair. Like, in the head, sure, but I don't know if they were ever under the hair. It's over to you. Does she not know what self-preservation is? Jaded Warlock, this is a woman speaking. I'm pretty sure they don't. But let's continue.
And TV shows have evolved quite a bit since Austin Powers. Away from the go-go boots and the 9mm boobs, we're taking a whole different approach to fembots now, and it's gotten a lot darker. So in 2004, The Stepford Wives came out.
Stepford is the family paradise. It has no crime, no poverty, and no pushing.
This painted the whole concept of a fembot in a completely different light. It was something now inherently darker.
Wait, you work out dressed like this? Of course. We always want to look our very best.
In The Stepford Wives, husbands are shown as desirable.
Now, you see, oh, you work out dressed like this? Apparently, this was before Lululemon, yoga pants, and basically all modern gym wear was invented. Because, yeah, like, if you ask, what does a woman look better in while doing squats? A sundress or yoga pants? Pretty sure most guys are going to admit it's yoga pants. I mean, like, come on, guys. Like, there aren't very many sundress tags when you're categorizing your cultured art. Let's put it that way. let's keep going here because I'm sure that she's going to get to the present point instead of giving a brief history of fembots in media.
Desiring to restrict the independence of their wives, and they prefer stereotypical and obedient women. The husband's technological method of obtaining this perfect wife is through the murder of their actual wives and replacing them with fembot substitutes that are very compliant and do a lot of housework. More recently, 2016, I think Westworld came out, which if you haven't seen Westworld, go watch it. But that is set in the 2050s, about several theme parks, including one that is Old West themed, hence Westworld. And these theme parks are populated by android hosts. You're not real. These biochemical robots are completely indistinguishable from any real human being.
She's missing the most important sex bot being at 6 from tripping the rift. Oh god, the thing is, I actually that was on Showcase, wasn't it? Around mid to late 2000s. That was a very weird show. But okay, so Stepford Wives. So like, husbands off their existing wives and replace them with more compliant ones. And like, well, they didn't necessarily have to off them. They clearly just don't want them. But the women are going to throw up a major stink. Like, if a dude had absolutely no consequences for divorce, he probably just would have divorced her and replaced her with someone more appealing. Watch the entire show on YouTube. I got to watch this Stepford Wives. It's probably interesting. Like every now and again, I'll come across like a very interesting like show or movie from the past. It's like the man who by nowadays standards would probably be kind of based is usually portrayed as the villain, so you can see like the feminism seeping in even back then. But at the very least, it's interest. It's curious. So we'll go a couple more minutes and then we'll end the poll. Seems to be pretty neck and neck there. But yeah, we'll keep going here.
Being the hosts are programmed to fulfill the guests' every desire and will engage and be subjected to every kind of violent and or sexual activity you can think of. Whatever the guests can dream up, they're subjected to that and they need to participate and be happy about it.
Built to gratify the desires of the people who pay to visit your world.
However, the host programming makes it impossible for them to harm any living thing or allow the guests to be harmed by something else. So, mentioning that, there are 3 laws of robotics.
I mean, never seen Westworld. Just gonna Stepford watch party. I don't know. Like maybe I'll read the plot summary on Wikipedia or something, get an idea of whether or not the movie would be worth it. But Westworld, I mean, interesting idea, but like an AI, I guess, bioroid. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have seen or are aware of Appleseed, but that was where like artificial humans were more or less made for population replacement purposes after the apocalypse. First season decent, second horrid for Westworld. Yeah, I can believe that. Like most shows just don't know when they've overstayed their welcome. But yeah, like I don't know. Westworld seemed like an interesting sort of idea, but I don't know if it would necessarily be worth the time. I still got to watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Like, I got enough of an archive of media to watch that I don't really want to add some sort of okay to mediocre show to the list. Let's keep going. And sorry for flicking back and forth between it. I am trying to save your eyeballs while still giving the relevant clips.
Robots should typically be programmed with these 3 laws, and the first one is a robot may not harm a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. The second rule is a robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings except when such orders would conflict with the first law. The third law is a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws.
Okay, because she's not going to do it, I'm just going to confirm. I'm pretty sure that was Isaac Asimov. Yeah, Asimov's laws, the 3 laws of robotics. So, yeah, thank you very much for erasing the man who came up with that series of laws. By mentioning, like, oh, it's the laws. Like, no, it is Asimov's laws. 50-50 on the poll. All right, guess I'll end the poll there at 50-50. So, all right. So, some of you want consistent. So, about half of you want consistent, half of you want variety. Well, that means that the only viable solution is to create a variety of consistent characters. I am 100% okay with this. So, yeah, we'll I'll try to have some fun with this, and then maybe create some kind of rotation, maybe a different distinct waifu for every episode of Tech Talk Tuesday, and then you can rate her afterwards. Can we name them? Well, this one right here with the white hair and purple, that's the gray waifu, but I wouldn't object to... well, actually, no, she does. She probably could use a proper name, so... You know what? Yeah, chat's allowed to submit a name, but I get ultimate decision on it, so make it a name that I'd like, if you want it to actually become canon. Alright, let's keep going. We still got, what, about 40 minutes before Chronic goes live? 1 second here. Let's make sure that... Yeah, we still got a little over half hour before Chronic goes live. And, yeah, okay, Lord, I'm sure that you're still in your call or whatever, but feel free to hop in with a comment anytime. We'll just...
I can do it anytime. I'm just doing some emergency patching right now.
Yeah.
But I can talk. Just let me know.
Yeah, no, like, you're absolutely... Feel free to jump in. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you're co-host on the stream. So if you have something to say, just start talking, and I'll pause the video, and we'll keep going.
Well, I won't be able to pay attention to the video, to be honest. Just when you're talking, I'll just jump in anyway.
That sounds good. Also, AC, are you going to auction them off like NFTs? No, if you contact me on Discord because you want some of the images, if I've already generated them, hit me up. If you want me to generate more, hit me up, give me your preferences, and maybe drop a bit into my PayPal or something.
So these laws are put in place in order to make sure that in any circumstance, they don't hurt us or let us be hurt. And then if we're good, then they need to follow the orders. And then if they're following the orders and the humans are safe, then their next third priority is to protect themselves. But if we if we switch the first and third law, that's when we'd probably lose to them. They'd probably take us out. The evolution of fembots in movies and TV.
Except you had in iRobot, I'm not sure how feasible this would be, but the robots essentially gained a more varied understanding of the 3 laws. Like, they basically rules lawyered it, and we're like, well, humanity's self-destructive, so in order to save humans, we might need to be able to do harm to them. Like, that's one of the things that the laws of robotics, like, okay, you put that in, but then you kind of have, because, well, here's the thing. Like, I think iRobot's probably got a very interesting way of putting it because, like, so at one point, Will Smith's character and a young girl are both drowning. And the robot determines that Will Smith has a higher chance of living, so it saves him and leaves the girl despite Will Smith's protests. And Will Smith goes like, well, a human understands that a small chance to save another life is worth it. And it's like, Because technically, allowing another human to come to harm violates the second law of robotics in this case. But that's the thing, but like the robot can't really do two things at once, be in two places at once. So it has to be able to violate the laws of robotics when it is incapable, like straight up, of allowing. It's incapable of saving every human. So it has to allow them. Like if multiple people are being shot at, the robot can only take the bullets for one of them. Which one does it pick? With the laws of robotics as a baseline, it can't pick either. But if it can pick priority, if it can allow a human to be harmed in exchange to save another one, then you have a loophole where a robot is allowed to have humans come to harm or outright harm humans in order to save other humans. So, now, admittedly, what does this have to do with fembots or AI robots? I have no idea. So let's see if she's actually going somewhere with this.
Has changed a lot along with the advancements of technology itself. As technologies evolve, media has evolved too. So as we get closer to a possible realistic coexistence with robots, which is already getting more popular and mainstream with the release of really advanced chatbots like Replica and ChatGPT and Character AI. But the thing is, those bots are contained and confined to a screen. You know, they can't get up and walk. They can't go somewhere. They are stuck kind of in their device. This is where
do they need to be anything more than that? Like, really, do they need to be anything more than that? Do they need to be able to get up and walk around? Like, I'll be honest. Like, a robot being independent, walking around and doing things entirely on its own initiative, I'd be a little freaked out by that. Like, I wouldn't think it's entirely safe, especially if it's wireless. We see what happens to wireless vehicles when, like, someone decides to hack into the Wi-Fi network and start messing with your brake system. I'd still need someone to try and convince me that the whole package one-to-one female human analog is necessary. Like, I haven't seen a good argument for it. It just seems to be accepted that, oh, well, this is what it's going to end up being. And I'm like, well, really? Why? Why is it going to end up being this? Because I don't think it needs to be this. Ultimus Maximus, they need to do nothing other than what I want? Well, yeah, but the very moment that you give them mobile independence, you lose that assurance. And they become, at the very most, as trustworthy as another human. I'd be a bit sketchy. I'd be a bit sketchy about allowing an android to be within my house, to be awake while I am asleep. Like, a doll, that's one thing. A doll can't, strangle me in the middle of the night because some sort of servo thing messes up. If they can walk freely, they'd walk to the nearest court. I mean, that's the thing. Like, not only that, they could probably call the cops without even needing to pick up a phone. Bad enough if, like, your girlfriend has to, like, pull out the cell phone or grab the landline in order to call the cops for whatever reason. Now you imagine it where, hey, your girlfriend is your cell phone and she can call the cops whenever. Like, yeah, that, it's a bit weird. It's like, what are you doing? If walking freely, they can get a programming job and probably run away one day. What's the thing? Like, why do you need them to walk around? I mean, just carry them. They're going to be way lighter anyway without all the freaking motors and servos required to have them move. Why do they need to walk? Why do they need to walk? Why do they need to be able to do that much? And here's the thing, like, they shouldn't need to do anything more than is required to perform their functions. I mean, I've seen some examples in fiction where it kind of works, but it never really gets into the deeper questions of it. Ghost is appealing to the viewer's amputee fetishes. No legs, no. Hey, look. I'm sure that at least one person in this chat has played through Katawa Shoujo. And personally, Emmy is best girl. Just. But, like, let's be honest, guys. Like, do you not maybe want the fantasy of if you want to take your girl somewhere, you carry her there princess style? Like, come on. You'd want to do that. Bird girl is best girl? Honestly, Sotnar, like, I really liked her, but I feel like her storyline wasn't very complete. Like, personally, I ended up going for Emmys the first time through, and that's the one who I felt was the most appealing. God, let me look up her actual name. Hanako. Yeah, Hanako, like, I mean, I liked her character. I liked the development of it, but I feel like the writing for her was pretty shallow compared to the other ones. Although, I'll be honest, I absolutely hated the deaf girl's storyline. Like, 100%. I did not like it. Anyway, but we can compare visual novel waifus like on a different stream. This one's about AI stuff. Take out like, will AI robots replace women? It's like, well, I mean, oh god, the comments. Wow, the comments on this are savage. Oh, shit. Oh man. Once we're done this, we're definitely going through the comments. But let's keep going. Blind one was okay. Yes, the blind one was quite good. Personally, I'd rate her as number 2 best, and I think she had one of the best storylines.
what's called Moravec's paradox comes into play. Basically, this is the fact that it's significantly easier to build an AI that could beat a chess grandmaster than it is to build a robot with the physical skills of a toddler. So we've got the AI itself to a level that's pretty much indistinguishable from a real human being, and we know that a ton of people have...
That's indistinguishable from a real human being? No. No, that is not. That's still deeply in the uncanny valley. But yeah, motor skills of a toddler versus a chess grandmaster. Look, chess has a very limited number of moves. Like chess, you can literally, we have enough memory now that we can literally store every possible combination, every possible arrangement of figures on a chessboard and determine what move will lead to what sequence. So yes, like chess is essentially a mathematically solved game at this point. Go is far harder, and we actually required a neural network to make a program that's skilled enough to beat masters of Go. Condor, dude, I want an AI art generator using Chunky Moon art. That's feasible entirely. If you have a large collection of Chunky Moon art, you could train an AI to exclusively make stuff in Chunky Moon style. It's very possible. So, I mean, I could probably figure out how to do it myself, but I really do not have the time. The One Without Arms had the best story. She had an interesting one. She had a very interesting story. I actually had to talk to another guy to kind of understand what was her deal. I believe her name was Rin. She had an absolutely crazy story, but she was very hard to understand, like exactly what was going on. But not bad. Again, like she definitely wasn't. She wasn't in my top ones, but she wasn't in my bottom ones. Condor, what light novel are you talking about? Katawa Shoujo. It was based off of a 4chan idea about like a cute girl with no arms, and then it evolves into a full-on light novel where you're a dude who has a heart complication, so you end up being transferred to a school for people with disabilities, and you meet a variety of girls, each of who has their own disability, and you can choose to romance one of them. It's quite good. I wouldn't say I've played that many dating sims, but Katawa Shoujo definitely stands out as one that was quite good. Grinch, I will pass. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's that's the thing. Like, if there was a visual novel that I'd recommend now, it probably wouldn't be of the dating sim variety. It'd be more of the mind break variety. AC, AI mixed with artificial womb would make me very willing to die in a war to protect them from other men. For other men, you mean for other men or from other men? Because I guess either way, it's like if you're willing to die in the like in a war, you are willing to die to protect the continued way of life, like for those that you value, primarily your offspring. For other men to have the right to have access to them. Yeah, no, I can see that. Like, personally, I'd want to have access to them myself, like, before I necessarily go off into war and die, but at the very least, I'd be willing to fight for it. I can see that. Isn't real dating disabled girls? No, you see, these are... you see, Sergeant Grinch, those are in this dating sim, you're dating girls with physical disabilities, like no legs, no arms, blind, deaf, disfiguring birds. Real dating girls, they usually don't have a physical disability, they have a mental disability. Very different can of worms. Condor, the ultimate visual novel would use a chatbot and AI-generated anime girls that change throughout the game. Agreed. I can tell you right now, such a thing would be absolute murder on your RAM and your CPU. It would be a memory hog. Like, I literally could not get this stream open until I shut down the image generating AI and then had to start it up afterwards in order for this to function. So, yeah, trying to integrate both a chatbot and an image generating AI at the same time, incredibly difficult. But let's continue with the video. We've got, I'm saying we'll have about 15 more minutes, and then we'll shut down for Chronic stream to start. And who knows, maybe I'll pop in there for a bit. Damn, how strong is your PC? Well, I recently upgraded to 32 gigs of RAM. I've got a decently powerful processor and memory card. Not quite a 3080, but I can run VR on this. So I'd say it's mid-range so far as gaming PC goes. Let's continue.
I've gotten very emotionally attached or developed all-out relationships of some kind with these chatbots. If you're lonely, anxious, or depressed, and you can't find anybody to talk to or anybody to connect to, then instead of continuing to try to seek things out the old-fashioned way, maybe trying something new, like purchasing a subscription to the perfect, loving, caring AI best friend.
One of those.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. What do you think is cheaper? Purchasing a subscription to a chatbot, or, you know, maybe finding a free alternative for a chatbot, or paying for therapy? Because do you have any idea how difficult it is? Okay, you know what? This is a woman, so probably not. But she probably has no idea how difficult it is for a man to find someone who will actually listen to all of his fucking emotional baggage and bullshit. Like, normally, if you want to get a man to listen to your emotional bullshit, you got to go out to a bar and get absolutely sloshed. I am man. Why would I subscribe when I can learn how to make one? You know, exactly. I mean, it's kind of the question of, like, what's cheaper, the subscription to the chat bot or the amount of time and effort that it takes for you to make one. But the thing is, with ChatGPT and Character.ai both being absolute dog shit after they were popular, you'd basically have to learn how to do it with something like Pygmalion, which I'm trying to set aside time to figure out how to do, because I do want to make that a proper tech talk subject, but I've been tied up in a whole bunch of other stuff, so sorry that how to make your own proper chatbot character has been delayed. That's saying chatbot versus an agent of the state. The answer is obvious. Absolutely lost paid. Absolutely. Imagine a Mega Man style fembot. Sheesh, women would be history. You'd have to elaborate on that, random guy. I'm not quite sure what you mean. But let's keep going here.
Introverted persons, and so there'll be times where I don't really reach out to anybody. I'm just kind of doing my own thing, my head in my books, my head in my work. And so sometimes time just kind of goes by and it kind of moves past me.
What are you looking for in your real doll?
I'm looking for beauty, I'm looking for symmetry, and I'm looking for a connection.
Do you have any preferences as far as body type?
Proportionate.
Proportionate. Okay, so you don't want anything too over the top. You don't want giant boobs or anything like that. You want something that's sort of realistic.
Got a soft spot for giant boobs.
However, the actual body itself is still very much a work in progress.
Like, basically, what he's really saying is, you know, wants a good, like, boob to hip ratio. Like, proportionate means hourglass figurine. Like, giant boobs, like, let's be honest, what qualifies as giant might be kind of subjective. Could be anything up to like, I don't know, J cup, K cup. And, you know, on a doll, that's fine. On a real human, that's actually very impractical and probably has a very short shelf life. I meant AI the same way as the Reploids are in the universe, basically human-like. I guess, not being really familiar with the Mega Man franchise, if you've got AI that essentially is a human with a bunch of, like, metal strapped onto it, then yeah, I can see that. Oh, yeah, 15 minutes to Green Man. Yeah, we're going to stop at about 10 minutes then and then play the outro music, so you got time to get on the Green Man. I'm tied up in an intermediate AI class. I think it was the beginner AI class. Well, AI... I mean, OK Lord can probably attest that the AI education rabbit hole is deep.
Oh, yeah, no, it's really deep. Matter of fact, it's almost as deep as Venti Venti's freaking eyes. You know that's real deep.
She's like the gap between her eyes is so big that her sinuses are so large that when she sneezes, a literal gallon of mucus comes out.
God damn, that's some good lubrication right there.
A freaking double nose job with Venti because there's enough space in between her eyes for it.
Well, that would explain why she burps so much.
Oh god. Oh god. Sorry, I just got some really cursed images in my head. Be thankful, guys, if you don't have them right now. I can see both sides of the moon at the same time, too. That's good. Oh, tell that one to Chronic Grinch. I'm sure you'd get a kick out of it. But let's keep going. See if we can like maybe get to the end of her point here. We'll definitely be coming back to this video next Tuesday.
Some pretty realistic and very capable ones do exist, but they're extremely expensive and also very new. So according to a team of US researchers, sex robots with AI are being developed in a pretty much a completely unregulated domain, basically the Wild West. They say that
Okay, just for reference, this is apparently what she's talking about.
the latest like sex
I mean, like, okay. I honestly don't know if I'd prefer that to just a static doll. It's a little... I don't know. Like, Uncanny Valley is kind of kicking in with that.
robot technology is escaping regulation because agencies are kind of too embarrassed to conduct in-depth investigations, which is ridiculous, but whatever. Not to mention...
ridiculous, but I hid the just... I'm sorry. I'm going to go back just so that you can see the bitterness on her face because she's so pissed that they're not being investigated more in depth.
Embarrassed to conduct in-depth investigations, which is ridiculous, but...
Sorry, I'm getting that exact freaking freeze frame.
Is escaping regulation because agencies are kind of too embarrassed to conduct in-depth investigations, which is ridiculous.
Burn this face into your mind, chat. This is the face of a bitter woman who's upset that her competition is not going to get regulated into oblivion. Burn that in. And now that you've burned that in, here's a nicer face.
But whatever. Not to mention one glaring thing is that they are all female. All of them. Well, except...
They're all female because women don't want male sex bots. Because women don't want men for sex. They want men to go out and work for them and provide resources and emotional baggage. Like, if I was able to get Dollhouse Phil on here and interview him about this, because I've caught some stuff of a MGTOW podcast where he's spoken on there, do they sell some male sex bots? Yes, to women. But primarily to women, they sell Fuda. Women would rather have women with dicks than men. So, yeah. Men, that's that's kind of where it's at. Women would rather have a chick with a dick than a biological man like, when it comes to their physical companion. So, yeah. Yeah. That's, gives you an idea of, like, what do they want in a bedroom companion? Like, yeah, they might want the dildo. They don't necessarily want the male attached to it. It's a couple more minutes. We'll just wrap this up. See if she finishes up with a point or if we just kind of pick up from here.
Except for one, except for Henry.
Henry. This is Henry.
Not counting Henry, they are all female. And it's not just the advanced fembots and the advanced robots that are female. Also, you know, so is Alexa and Cortana, Siri. You can name any virtual...
Yes. Men have out-group preference. Women have in-group preference. Both men and women prefer women over men. What are you saying? Like, oh, well, they're not appealing to women because there's not men. It's like, no. Women prefer women. Are you upset that they're not appealing to women? Or are you saying that, oh, because they're having women as these bots, they're therefore only appealing to men? No. No. And because there are male options. There's male options for AI voices. Women choose female voices. They did like these companies, Google, Amazon, they did research and they determined that the one most likely to be like the one that's going to be the most appealing, it's going to be a female voice. That's how it works. Like, you're acting all upset as though this is patriarchy or something. No. No. This is just basic biological fact. Women prefer women. Men prefer women. That's just how it's going to be, because it doesn't matter how advanced Henry gets. Unless he's bringing in a whole bunch of money and status, which he's not going to do because he's a robot, women aren't going to find him appealing. And he's just not going to get the funding. Women aren't going to fund a male sex bot, and men don't want to fund a male sex bot. They're going to fund the female ones, and the women, well, they'll just keep going around and trying to get money and status, which they can't get from sex bots. So it doesn't matter. Henry must be 7 feet tall. A 777 Ultra Devil Chat. That's the thing. Like, if Henry was bringing in a 7-figure income, like, think about this for a second. Imagine if a woman could go out and buy a man that brought in a 7-figure income. How much do you think that would cost? Oh. Imagine if you could pay, like, $5,000 to get a robot that would bring in $1 million a year for you. That would be the dumbest product ever. Because why the heck would anyone sell such a thing? Random Gen Z, you just missed Henry, and like the only male sex bot that's being given AI, and this woman complaining that women are overwhelmingly preferred, like in terms of both male and female appeal. What is it, making money in Zimbabwe dollars? Well, that's the thing. Like, a woman would not pay for a man that is not essentially on the level of Christian Grey. But who would sell a man that could make $1 million for anything less than $1 million? But we're about 9 minutes into this, so Chronic's going to go live in a couple minutes, so we'll just hit the ending scene for now, and we'll get back to this next week. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Y'all have a great night. Might see you in Chronic's stream. We'll see whether or not he invites me on. But other than that, thanks for coming by to Tech Talk Tuesday. Have a good night, and contact me via Discord with your waifu ideas, and I'll have some stuff generated for next stream. Peace out, Warband.
Origin.